Hello and welcome to our millions of viewers here in Nigeria, the continent, and all around the world. This is Lunchtime Politics, and I am Kelly Egiga. Let's get things started. Reactions continue to pour in from Nigerians over the hike in the price of PMS by the MP and NNPCL. We are filled with a deep sense of betrayal by the federal government over the increase of the pump price of PMS. That's the exact words of the NLC president, Comrade Joe Ajaero. Wherever you're watching from around the world, we're live from our global headquarters here in Lagos, Nigeria. Now, the hike in the price of premium motor spirits by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited is generating reactions from Nigerians across the country. In the FCT, residents are lamenting the increase coupled with the already economic hardship situation in the country. Our correspondent Kumbi Abuluwade reports.
Residents in the nation's capital woke up to a change in the price of premium motor spirit, PMS, also known as petrol, by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. The new pump price is not sitting right with these residents as they express their grievances.
Before my tank, I normally fill it at 65,000, but now I bought it at the rate of 85,000 naira. The price is high. I have to tighten my belt to see how can I couple with this station, because it's not been easy, honestly. For me, I don't know how we are going to do.
For NNPC to be 897, you should be expecting other filling stations to hike their price to 1,000 plus. So the way it's going now, what are we going to do about it? Salary is not increased, even though I'm retired. If I follow what is going on now, what I get for my retirement benefit cannot even buy fuel inside the car.
On August 1st, 2024, the NNPCL hinted that it is in a $6.8 billion debt and would not be able to continue selling at a subsidized price of 617 naira. As a new pump price has been set in NNPC stations across the country, FCT residents are appealing to the federal government to take a deeper look into the situation to cushion the sufferings.
It will affect me. I have children that I feed. I pay their transport to go to school. School about to start next Monday. I normally spend every week their transport like 7,000 naira. Definitely it will increase to 10,000 or 12,000 naira. And I'm on that taxi driver. Where will I afford that money? Each meal, a family of 5 or 6, each meal consume up to 7,000 naira as a small man. Now tax it by 3. Can taxi man cover up to 15,000 naira in a day after fuel?
The NNPC Limited is hoping that the Port Harcourt refinery will come on stream sometime this month, alongside the production from other private refineries. Kumbi Abuluwade, Channels Television News.
All right, so we'll come back and take some more perspectives from the nation's capital where we are live in just a moment. But I'm just wondering perhaps just how much are you buying fuel in your area as we speak now, based on this particular move by the NNPCL? Let's stay with our lead story this hour. The Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, is asking the federal government to promptly reverse its decision, calling it a betrayal of the agreement reached regarding the new minimum wage for workers. In a statement titled, "We Feel Betrayed," the NLC president, Comrade Joe Ajaero, says the unions agreed to the minimum wage based on the understanding that there would be no increase in petrol prices. According to Mr. Ajaero, President Bola Tinubu presented the organized labor with two options: either a 250,000 naira minimum wage, which would result in a petrol price increase to between 1,500 and 2,000 naira, or a 70,000 naira minimum wage with no hike in petrol prices. The disappointed Labour leader notes that its leadership will convene in the coming days to decide its next line of action. All right, perhaps we should walk you through these particular statements now by the NLC and walk you through the demands from the NLC. We understand that the NLC is demanding the immediate reversal of the latest increase in the pump price of PMS across the country. On that list as well, from the demands from the NLC, is that they're also calling on the government to release all those incarcerated or being prosecuted on the assumption of having participated in the recent protests. They also want the government to halt the indiscriminate arrest and detention of Nigerians on trumped-up charges. They also want a reversal of the 250% tariff hike in electricity. They're also asking for a stop to the hijack of the duties of the Ministry of Labour and Employment. And sixth on that list is the need to end policies that engender hunger and insecurity. And finally, on that list is they want the government to halt the culture of terror, fear, and lying. All right, so very shortly, we'll cross over live to the nation's capital, Abuja, and speak with one of the representatives from the NLC who understand what these issues are indeed and what perhaps the negotiations and conversations will be between the NLC and other unions with the federal government. But let's bring in more stories now. This hour, we can also tell you in Plateau State that the chapter of the All Progressives Congress gets attention next as the chapter is calling on the Speaker of the State House of Assembly to inaugurate lawmakers elected on the platform of the party. The senator representing Plateau South Senatorial District, Senator Simon Lalong, and the state chairman of the party, Mr. Rufus Bature, made the call at a stakeholders meeting held at the party's secretariat in just the state capital. Both men are accusing the speaker of disrespecting court orders.
Stakeholders of the All Progressives Congress in Plateau State are meeting to discuss the political situation in the state. A major talking point at the meeting is the status of elected members of the State House of Assembly under the party.
We are frowning in particular at the flagrant disrespect of valid court decisions by the Speaker of the Plateau State House of Assembly, the only YPP member in the House who has refused to swear in the remaining 6 APC state lawmakers in spite of the Court of Appeal judgment. As he recently declared in one of the functions he held in the state of recent, that it is at his discretion to respect which judgment that comes from any court, that it is at his discretion. It's quite unfortunate.
The State Assembly had been in a state of uncertainty over the fate of some lawmakers under the People's Democratic Party after they were sacked by the Court of Appeal. The party relied on the decision of the court to call for a swearing in of the party's candidates.
I want to appeal to you today. If our members have qualified, please, in the next sitting, invite them to be inaugurated. We are not fighting the governor. We are not fighting anybody. That is the House of Assembly. If Speaker says he cannot inaugurate it, I wonder whether APP, one person, is equal to 22 members of the House of Assembly. YPP?
The stakeholders also discussed the non-representation of the state in the Federal Executive Council, calling on President Bola Tinubu to consider nominating someone from the state for a ministerial slot that has been vacant. The party also discussed preparations for the forthcoming local government elections in the states.
Right, let's take you back to our lead story now and cross over live to Abuja, where Benson Okpa, the head of Information, Nigeria Labour Congress, joins us live on the program. We must thank you indeed, comrade, for agreeing to speak with us here on Channels TV this hour. I would like to start with the words of the NLC president captured in that press release yesterday, Comrade Joe Ajero. He says, I quote, "We are filled with a deep sense of betrayal as the federal government has now increased the pump price of PMS. And the statement also captures the fact that the act of betrayal is consistent with the character of this government." So walk us through perhaps just how painful this betrayal is.
Thank you very much for your question. You and I know that an act of betrayal, no matter how small, can go deep and far. But in this instance, this is a big wound. This is a dagger directed at the heart and soul of not only NLC, but of Nigerians. You are aware of the effects of the subsidy removal on May 29, 2023. It led to over a 500% increase in the cost of living, rent, food, transportation, education, health, and other related issues. At a time, Nigerians are about coming to terms with these realities that caused a major socioeconomic dislocation in their lives. The government has made another move. And this move, as you know, is intended to deepen poverty, cause more insecurity, and create more uprising. This is how bad it is. As it is, we are at a loss. And the signals we get now are that this is not the last increase. But quite unfortunately, these increases come without commensurate capacity. And we're told that this injury being done to you and I is for our good. We feel terribly pained. And we feel this even for the less privileged Nigerians. But of course, you and I know that the ultimate response to this journey without destination resides with Nigerians, not even with Nigerian Labour Congress.
Comrade, so I'm not holding brief indeed for the federal government, and in fact, I hate to play even the devil's advocate here, but President Bola Tinubu has on many occasions called for patience. So are you not in any way confident that there's perhaps some light at the end of the tunnel?
Well, you were around when the previous government, the immediate past government, called for patience. You were around when the government before it also asked for patience. What did you get at the end of that patience? I mean, that would be my question to you. And now speaking specifically to the administration of President Bola Tinubu, his has been the most extreme market-oriented government in the history of this country. With all the dangerous right-wing ideas and none of the mitigating measures that come with such right-wing ideas. We do not have social protection. We do not have anything to cushion the savage effects of the policies of his administration. We are told to be patient. How many people are going to survive from now till tomorrow at the rate we are going? So for me, the ordinary people have been making sacrifices. The leadership never ever does. There is always enough for the greed of the political leaders and nothing for the need of the ordinary Nigerians. I think it's time for the political leadership to make the sacrifice that they ask us to make from day to day, from year to year. That would be my response.
Yeah, so comrade, I mean, you have tagged the policies of the government. You have called it extreme, and so. But for those who are on the other side of things, I mean, we're talking about our leaders, the Minister of Economy, Finance, and all of that. They would perhaps disagree with you. But one of the highlights for me in that statement is the fact that the NLC says that we are at an all-time low. I'm not sure what exactly the NLC means by that in the history of Nigeria, because the argument really for the current administration is the fact that this is not a Nigerian problem. Globally, we have been faced with a lot of economic headwinds. I mean, beginning from the COVID-19 in 2019, 2020, and to the fact that there is Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and then we also have a war in Gaza as well. All of these have contributed to how the economy is perhaps at this point in time where we are now. So I wonder, when you say in your statement that we are at an all-time low, kindly walk us through what exactly the NLC means by that.
First and foremost, there is no use trying to rationalize evil or hunger or anger by way of saying these challenges are not peculiar to Nigeria.
I mean, comrade, that's not what I'm trying to do. In fact, I hate to hate to hold brief for the government. But that's the argument really from that's the argument
really. Question, let me answer you.
Yes, go ahead. Just go ahead.
I heard you. Don't interrupt. I listened to you. So you listen to me.
Go ahead, comrade. I mean, we're listening to you, but
first thing, listen. Don't interrupt. Listen to you. You should respect my right of response.
Absolutely,
okay?
comrade.
Fine. If that's the case, then listen carefully. I granted this interview at short notice. So listen to me. See, those. The members of the president's economic team can say whatever they want, and they can even tender figures. But we are talking about inclusive growth. What do those figures translate to in our lives? Life has since reached that Hobbesian level. Okay, has gone past that Hobbesian level. So we are not dealing with figures here. We are dealing with practical realities. And as for the issue of an all-time low, I repeat my statement, and I want to tell you this straight, that no government in the history of this country has taken the right-wing market-oriented policies that this administration has taken. And these have impacted very negatively on the quality of lives of Nigerians. While the government is getting richer, the people are getting poorer. Life has become short, mean, and brutish, much worse than what Hobbes envisaged.
Comrade
I do not know how much you earn at channels.
Comrade Okpa.
But I want to tell you, for the generality of Nigerians, life has been very, very, very bitchy.
Yes.
And in playing the devil's advocate, always do so with facts and figures.
All right, comrade, let me stay with you and head to your demands. And yes, I mean, I totally understand. We all go to the same markets, perhaps. So
I can't hear you.
Comrade, can you hear me? Because I'd like us to switch gears and stay with the demands of the NLC in this particular press statement. Can you hear me, comrade? All right, so we are having a conversation with Comrade Benson Ukpa, and he's the head of information at the Nigeria Labour Congress over this latest press release by the NLC presidents. They have some demands, 7 demands. Comrade, are you back with us? All right. So while we try to see how we can get back to Comrade Benson Ukpa, perhaps I should walk you through what these latest demands are by the Nigeria Labour Congress. One, they want immediate reversal of the latest increase in the pump price of PMS across the country. The NLC is also seeking release of all those incarcerated or being prosecuted on the assumption of having participated in the recent protests talking about the hashtag End Bad Governance protest. They're also calling for an immediate halt to the indiscriminate arrest and detention of Nigerians on trumped-up charges. They also want a reversal in the 250% tariff hike in electricity. They're also calling for a stop to the hijack of the duties of the Ministry of Labour and Employment, end to policies that engender hunger and insecurity, as well as halt to government's culture of terror, fear, and lying. Comrade Benson Ukpa, I wonder if you're back with us, because we need to see how we can squeeze in more questions on the program. Comrade, are you with us? All right, so we'll see how we can get back to Comrade. I understand that we cannot get him at the moment. It'll be interesting to see how Labour would respond to some other questions. For instance, Nigerians have been a bit concerned. Some are disappointed with the NLC, and they have been so over the years now because of the body language of the NLC. And some of them have even wondered if the NLC has not been weakened over the years. But let's turn our attention now to security in Rivers State, where Governor Siminalayi Fubara has donated 100 operational vehicles to the Rivers State Police Command. According to the governor, the vehicles were officially commissioned and handed over during a ceremony at Shark Stadium in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. During the event, the Rivers State Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Disu, lauded Governor Fubara for the donation, revealing that the vehicles will strengthen the command's community policing initiatives.
Your Excellency, sir, your unwavering support for the Nigerian police force and dedication to the welfare of our community is truly commendable. This act of generosity not only enhances our operational capacity, but also reflects your deep concern for the citizens of the state. These vehicles will empower our officers, enabling them to respond more swiftly and effectively to emergencies and enhance our community policing efforts. With your support, sir, we are reinforcing our resolve to combat crime and uphold the rule of law.
This achievement to the Commissioner of Police, honestly speaking, it wasn't my idea because I was working on getting a very high profile vehicles for the police and other security agencies in the state. But the CP advised that he did it sometime in Lagos, that we should adopt that model by acquiring these other vehicles you're seeing here, the Sienna and the other Camrys, or Corolla, as they call them. And I bought into the idea. And why are we doing this? We discovered that response to crime scene, to attack, and to other lot of things were being slowed because you lack mobility. And what we just did was a first phase of support to the Nigerian police. We also intend to come again to give you other sophisticated vehicles to support what you're doing.
To other stories, the chairman and chief executive officer of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, retired Brigadier General Mohammed Marwa, has commended the officers and men of the Nigerian Armed Forces for their professionalism, patriotism, and daily sacrifices in their efforts to curb banditry in the Northwest and other security challenges in parts of the country. General Marwa gave the commendation when the national coordinator of the National Counterterrorism Center, Major General Adamu Laka, paid him a courtesy visit at the agency's national headquarters in the nation's capital, Abuja. The NDLEA boss, while announcing his preparedness to collaborate with the NCTC, spoke on the need to support and encourage the armed forces, adding that the Nigerian military is well placed and capable of containing banditry like the already contained insurgency in the Northeast region. He's also urging Nigerians to stand with the military and other security agencies to end all security challenges facing the country. And staying with security matters, the Nigeria police is asking Mr. Andrew Wynne, the British national who was declared wanted for alleged subversive activities and terrorism financing, to present himself and prove his innocence. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, the Force Public Relations Officer Muyiwa Dejobe says the Briton was invited several times by the police to answer questions on the allegations leveled against him, but refused to honor the invitations. The police asked that he turned down several invitations, and then Mr. Wynne fled the country to evade arrest. All right, so we're unable to get back to Comrade Benson again. Let's head back to our main news headline this hour. The NLC placing 7 immediate demands to the federal government, asking for the immediate reversal of the latest increase in the price of PMS across the country. It'll be interesting to see how the next line of action will be indeed for the NLC, because Mr. Joe Ajaero, the NLC president, has been quoted as saying that we stand resolute with the people and will neither be distracted nor intimidated by the government or its security agencies. It will be interesting in the coming days to see what will play out between the labor unions and the federal government. But that does it for us here on the program this hour. Thanks indeed for watching. That's a 7 on Lunchtime Politics. I'm Kelly Egiga. Bye now.